Yo, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Double Digit Angler podcast. This is episode number 10, guys, and we're with guest Yak-n-Zak Fishing on YouTube. Check him out. We're going to be going into, is he upgrading any cameras this year for his content on YouTube? And then we're going to go dive deep into his first memories as an angler and what state he started out in, because he's moving a lot. Then we're going to dive into what kayak he started out with, what's some of his best memories in his first kayak. And we're going to take it to California, where his new chapter or his past chapter happened, which is in California. What are the best takeaways living in California and fishing in California? And then we're going to get down and dirty with the reason why he is moving, unfortunately. And then what do we expect for the Yak-n-Zak content for the future? Like, is there something new? Or is he going to keep things the same? What is he going to do for 2023? And then we're going to dive deep into, what he's going to miss about California. And, it doesn't even have to be about fishing or anything. It could be about, the sunshine, maybe the desert life. I don't know. And then we're going to lastly dive into what doesn't he mind giving up in California. Okay, let me bring him on right now. Hope you guys enjoy this content. Make sure you give a rating for this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. What is up, Zach? How's it going, man?
What's going on, my guy? You hear me pretty good?
Yeah, I can hear the
Good.
kids in the background still too, just like moving around.
No
Or was
kids,
that you?
That's me.
Everybody, or not, I can't say everybody understands the fatherlyhood, but I gotta say probably at least 50% of people that listen to this podcast probably has kids. How is it having kids, Zach? and fishing,
Dude, it's great. I mean, I got a lot of them. I got 5 total, but got the 3 little ones right now with me. That's great, man. I got a solid wife. That's the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
if wifey ain't good, then nothing's good. Then there's no fishing happening, right? So
Yeah,
starts there.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure,
You got to keep that wife happy for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
Also got to pick the right partner to be with in order to get this fishing going on.
Hey, this is round 2 for me. So yeah, I second that. You definitely gotta choose the right one, man.
We might have to change this whole script up and just talk about
marriage
life, marriage counseling for anglers, and how it's like.
Yeah.
I was thinking even having my girlfriend on and just asking her questions like, what is it like being a girlfriend to an angler? And that kind of just, like, for me, I just popped out of nowhere with fishing while we were dating. So
yeah.
When oh really? So you you were dating your wife and you weren't a fisherman originally, were you?
No, I didn't start. We were married for 8 years before I started fishing.
Oh, so she didn't realize what unfolded.
Oh no, she realized.
Yak-n-Zak fishing. Oh, she realized already. Yeah.
Yeah. She watched it unfold, brother, right there, step by step.
Maybe I need to start bringing my guests on and their wives or partners.
I'm telling you, man. Yes, it was. She was like, "Okay, what's next? What's next? What's next?" And she was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like when I was trying to buy kayak, she was like, "Get the right one, so you don't have to buy it again. Get what you want." That's all I got to hear.
Oh,
get what you want.
Dang, and then you pulled the trigger.
Absolutely, man.
Well, we don't have to go in order with all these questions and stuff, but what was the first kayak you got? And was that the one that your wife is just like, just get the right one, don't mess around?
So my first kayak was a Pescador Pro
Pescador
10.
Pro 10. It's a
Yeah.
10-footer?
Yeah. 10-footer, sit on top. That was my first one. She didn't know about it. Well, she knew about it. I told her about the kayak. She was like, a kayak. All right, cool.
She didn't know
So
about it.
I bought the kayak, got it home, and sitting in the garage. I'm like, cool. And got out on the water. I think I got on the water that thing twice before I was like, yeah, this ain't it.
Oh, really? So you didn't have good memories on that kayak, the Pescador?
Nah, because it wasn't stable enough for me, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I watched a lot of videos before I bought it, and that was a good one.
Mhm.
And it was people claiming for it to be stable. But when I sat in it and went to go fish, right, the first time I reached behind me to grab some out of my box, I felt a little.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this ain't the one. This
Oh,
ain't the
so
one.
it's one of those, like, dolphin kayaks.
No. It's not. It's definitely entry level. Sit on top,
Oh, okay.
right?
Okay.
Yeah, not a sun dolphin. It's a little better than that,
Oh, I see. Okay.
But yeah, that was my first one, man.
So it does have that secondary stabilization.
It does, yeah, but it just
Oh,
wasn't.
okay.
It was like it was too close for me. You know what I mean?
Oh,
I
okay.
wasn't comfortable enough with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, let me switch it up and look at what else is out there. So
Even if you were in, like, shallow water fisheries, grass, nothing really deep, you still wouldn't take that
no,
out. Uh,
no, because I want to stand right. And I didn't feel comfortable
yeah.
standing in that thing either, which I don't
Okay.
think I ever attempted to stand in that. I think once I turned and it felt a little wobbly, I was like, yeah, that's enough for me. I'm definitely not going to stand in it. So
Did you
yeah,
ever fall out of it?
nah, nah. I've never gone over on any of my kayaks,
Oh, wow.
and not even close. Man, I'm super cautious, bro. Like, cause that's the last thing I
Yeah.
want is go in the water. I can't. I can't go in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So
Well, every time I see your videos, you're always primarily sitting.
yes, I don't. Yeah, it's funny too because I like to stand. I stand
Mhm.
more now that I have my motor, right?
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Because the standing, especially when it's windy outside, right? You
Mhm.
stand, you got to constantly make corrections in the wind. So standing, I'm always either bending over, hitting the rudder to turn this way, or whatever, or sit back down to pedal to get
Mhm.
back on track. So most of the time I just stay seated. But now with
Oh,
the
okay.
motor on there, I'm good. I just put my spot lock on and do it, and I can fish hands free.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And not have to really make that many adjustments. So
What was the
yeah.
first kayak that you fell in love with?
Oh man, my bona fide SS 107.
107 or 127?
107 was my first. I went from the Pescador to the
Mhm.
107, right?
Oh,
Love
okay.
that kayak. Love that kayak. Stable as all can be. And but then I did jump to the 127 after that, shortly after. So I would say it's a toss up between the 127 and then the 107.
But the 107 is the first kayak that you fell in love with. That you're
Yeah.
like, this is for me. This sport is for me.
Yeah, definitely that one.
Uh,
And it's
tell me
my second kayak, right?
Tell me some of like your best days or your phenomenal days on your SS 107. Like one of the first
107.
stories.
So I tell you my first story, and it wasn't a phenomenal story. It was a story of me that prompted me to get the 127. Right? Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, I love my 107, but I was fishing with my guys back in Florida, man. My Polk County guys, man. Miss y'all, man, by the way. So I was fishing a tournament and I can't remember what lake we were on, but it got super windy, right?
Mhm.
But but I was in this cove and I was like, oh, this is cool. It's not really windy in here. And I just caught like a 20-inch bass on a frog. And I was like, this is great. So then I got the call early. Hey, they're canceling the tournament. Uh, we're getting off the water. Everybody need to come back to the launch. So I was like, why they cancel it? Like I'm just getting started, right? So
Mhm.
I come out the cove to go back to the launch. And as soon as I got out that cove, man, that wind just was ripping. So I'm sitting here paddling. Like this is my first time in like really strong wind, right? So I'm trying to paddle, and like I said, I can't go in the water. I can't fall
Mhm.
in, right? So I'm doing everything that I could possibly think of to make sure I don't go in, um, and not to dig my paddle in to where it just overcorrects
Yeah.
and I'm over, right? So man, I get to getting in there, man, and hitting that wind, and it just I had to stop paddling, and the wind just took me, man, and it pushed me all up, and it pushed me all the way back into the bank,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh yeah, this I got to get something a little better here, because 'cause at that point I was like, my kayak is just a little too small for this bigger water, right? And I was like, I need
Yeah.
something a little bigger. The kayak, because that 107 would have been great if I was doing something, river fishing or something like that, right? It'd been cool. But I was on a bigger water, and I was like, yeah, this I like it, but it's just not. It's not the one. But I made it back.
Right.
I didn't fall in. I made it back, and when I got back, I was like, I immediately went online and tried to find me a 127.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the memory that made you switch. But you love that
Yeah.
boat. I
I
mean,
love the boat. Yeah.
if there was like slack tide, not a lot of current in a river, then you would probably pick like 107, SS 107.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I would still go with the 127. If I had to
The
pick between
127.
for all around all purpose, I would go with the 127.
Were you 100% paddle? Like you didn't have a
Yeah.
motor on the
At that
bona
point.
fide?
So at that point,
Oh wow.
yeah, I was 100% paddle. But then when I got the 127, I ended up getting a torpedo. But what's funny with the torpedo is I bought the torpedo and I didn't install it for a whole year. I
Oh
waited a
wow.
year. Yeah, I just sat there. I'm lazy like that. I come to
Yeah,
launches
yeah.
late.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it sat in my garage for a year, man. Then I end up eventually installing it, and then I was like, that's when I fell even more in love with the boat, man.
Yeah.
That
I
torpedo,
mean,
man.
that's Yak-n-Zak fishing is like you do what you do. That's it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the
man.
motto
I
of
just have
Yak-n-Zak
fun,
fishing. Like,
man.
yeah, yeah. I feel like every single time I watch your videos, by the way, it's a podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be super entertaining on Twitch. Kind of like my homie Alex Sterling.
Yeah.
He's a Twitcher guy, and you guys have great voices, and I mean, you could talk all day, and I'd stay entertained pretty much.
Dude, I don't even know what Twitch is. How about that?
You don't know what Twitch is? Wait, like you don't even
No,
know a
man.
little bit about it?
Like I heard the name. I don't know
Yeah.
what you do. What do you do on Twitch that you can't do on Instagram or TikTok?
So Twitch is a lot like this, right?
Okay.
But you're going to the water. Like let's say you're going to your pond that you normally go to,
Yeah.
and you're taking this setup right here out on the water. Of course, there's like limitations, right? Because you probably can't comment as much. You can't reply to comments as much via well, you wouldn't text them, but you would, reply via voice. You can't answer.
Ah.
You're answering questions on the water while you're fishing, and then you're limited to, your remote setup, like your Wi-Fi. Did you bring enough 4G or LTE with you on the water? Because
Okay.
you know how what is it like? Paris is kind of shaky in terms of reception,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
right? So like for a Twitcher, they would have to bring some sort of 4G LTE of different brands, like a Verizon, a T-Mobile, AT&T, and they would have to bring all those hotspots with them and test them out to see which one would perform best for their live fishing show, pretty much. It's pretty
Man,
intense,
yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. Nah, I keep it super simple, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Give me the Facebook, the Instagram, and the YouTube, and we'll
Yep.
go from there, man. Like, yeah, it's like a whole lot going on that I
I
don't want to
have
partake in.
Have you gone live before on
Never,
Instagram on the water?
never,
No? No.
nah,
I have like
dude. It's
one
just,
time.
for me, it's too much, man. Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do with my hands? Like, I can't hold the phone. I'm not setting it up nowhere else. I got too much stuff on my boat already. Like, I'm not like. Nah, well, the video will be posted in about 2 months, and you
I
can
know
watch
it is a
it.
lot. It is a
Yeah,
lot. I mean, I know
yeah.
what Alex Sterling goes through when he's twitching. It's a lot. Like
Hmm.
the people that are watching are actually helping you like get your angle right. They tell you if your sound's working or not. So they give you a lot of feedback about that. And then you got to worry about reception when live streaming on the water. But it is a lot. And I give props for Alex doing it.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's
Anybody
super
got
unique.
that has time to do all that, like, props to you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Yeah.
I'm kind of leaning towards you, right? But I do want to test out live on the water. But I'm kind of leaning towards you where it is a lot and what we're doing already is a lot. You know, just making sure all three cameras are rolling. I know you have three cameras rolling. You have one
Right.
in front of your kayak pointing at you. You have one in the back of you, and then you have a
Hmm.
chesty, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So that's a lot to deal with, man.
Yeah, it is, man. That's again another reason why I don't need to do anything other than that. Like, it's just, dude, it's a lot of work, as is, like you said, and then to
Yeah.
add something else into the mix. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm,
What's your process? Like, let's say like start to finish when you hit all the record buttons on your GoPro, and then what happens at home?
all right. So one, the only GoPro that's recording continuously is the one behind me. Right. That's
Okay.
the only one that's recording, and that's running in loop mode.
Yeah.
And then my front camera, the one that's facing towards me, that just stays off. I don't turn that on until I catch a fish and I want to do a little hero shot. Right. That's the only
Okay.
time that camera comes on. Now my chesty is running in hindsight. Right. It's on, but it's not recording. But that hindsight can capture 30 seconds prior to me hit record. Right.
Okay.
So majority of the time it will catch the whole cast to catch. Majority of the time. Sometimes it don't actually work like it's supposed to.
Sometimes it'll
So
get you after you cast.
yeah,
Right.
or after I hit record, right? It won't come
Okay.
in. So that's what I do for that's a set for all three cameras. Then once I get home, I upload everything. I open up my Final Cut, create an event, and you load everything in an event. And then when I go to edit, I I sort everything by content created,
Hmm.
right? So the time it was created, and I just go through and sync everything up, man. The rear camera is my baseline, like everything syncs off of that. So I do rear camera throughout
Oh, so
everything.
you do that advanced setup where you actually sync the cameras by not by time
I
code, but by audio.
Yeah, so manually.
Oh, manually.
Yeah, yeah. So
Man.
yeah. So everything. I make sure all my cameras have the same time set up, right? The same
Hmm.
exact time, right? That way, it makes it easier. So when I go into sort by content created, time
Hmm.
created, whatever, they're typically in order, right?
Okay.
By how they're created. So I go. That's what I do. I take like I said, my rear camera is my main
Hmm.
camera. And then my chesty is actually the action. You know what I'm saying? When stuff
Yeah.
actually happens, I hit that on. So and then the front camera facing me is just secondary stuff. So what I do with the
Right.
audio though is I sync all that up by the audio. I listen to the
Hmm.
audio and I slide over until it's no more echo. So when there's no more echo, you didn't know that it's synced up.
Wow.
It's synced up, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
then I drop the audio from the front camera and then only use audio from the chassis. So it's the clearest audio, right? So I'll use that for everything. Yeah,
Dang, dude,
man.
your process is hardcore. That takes a long time.
That's why my videos go up 2 months after I've been done fishing.
Yeah, yeah, the post production. Sometimes, yeah, like for real. Sometimes I think like, is the ROI really, is there any return on it? But I honestly think there is because you're building a community with your content,
Yeah,
right? Like you've grown so much. There's people that know you on the East Coast and that know you on the West Coast.
yeah.
Do they know you down south too? Did you live out down south
No,
while
well,
fishing?
if you count Florida, yeah.
Okay. So
But
that's
you
like
did,
southeast.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where my fishing journey obviously was in Florida, right? That's why I started
Ah,
learning how to. I learned how to fish in Florida. All right, that was the gift and the curse. Oh, am I out? My audio's gone.
Yeah,
Um,
your webcam's gone.
uh, give me a second.
Yeah, no problem. And you can always switch to your iPhone. That's no issue too.
Yeah, I guess I could do that. Let me see here.
Technical difficulties, guys, but he got it.
We back. I don't know how
You're
that happened.
rolling. You're
All right.
rolling. All right, so let's talk about so you started your journey in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about some of your best memories in there. And then let's talk about specifically when you were on the SS 127 because now you're in a PA 14. Did you upgrade to a PA 14 while you were in Florida?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, you did.
Like my last 6 months or so, I think is when I got my PA 14.
Which one has more which one has the best juju on it? The Bonafide or the Hobie PA 14 in Florida?
Ooh.
The beginning of your stories. Which one has the best juju?
The 14.
The 14. Tell me
Yeah, the
about
14.
some of your epic
14.
stories.
Oh man. So for my Florida guys watching, y'all know about Tenor Rock, right? And I told you about Tenor Rock before. I explained to you about the,
Oh, explain to me again. Is that multiple
yes.
slots of fishing? Like multiple
Yeah,
ponds?
basically, yep. Multiple
Okay.
pond. I can't remember how many's on there. If anybody in my Florida guys are on, they'll
Mhm.
tell you exactly how many's on there. But it's a lot. It's a lot of lakes out there, brother. So that's where most of my fun started, man. On the 14, because I fished it on the previous two kayaks, right? The 107, 127, but the Hobie, because do them pedals, man. It allowed me to be more free, right? Fishing.
Mhm.
So, and it was crazy is I had like I said, I had the torpedo on my bona fide, but when I got the Hobie, I didn't even care about that no more. I did it like the pedals were heaven to me, man. So I didn't use the torpedo, but yeah, fishing out there, man, at that place is a kayaker's dream. If you guys are watching on live, not familiar with Florida and Tenor Rock, man, just Google Tenor Rock. It's man, kayaker's dream because there's bass boats, but there's a speed limit of like trolling only, like 5 miles an hour, or idle only. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why would you go anywhere else? you know,
Yeah.
but there to fish, man. But yeah, I
Yeah,
had some crazy.
exactly. Because
Yeah,
it give you that like that fair experience. Like these bass
exactly.
boats are going the same speed as I am. Like,
Yeah, exactly, man. And like I said, there's so many lakes out there. I mean, there's a bunch that I didn't even fish, because we
mhm.
all find our favorites and those are the ones we hit, right? But there was a lot out there that I never fished, man. But just like I was saying about being out there, um, some like my craziest times out there were just running into schools of fish. Like you talking about fish school up
Mhm.
and busting top water. I just all day. I went to one spot. I got a video of it, man. I can't remember what the title of the video is called, but I was at one of the lakes out there at Tenor Rock, man, and it was for about a solid hour. I sat in one spot, and the school of bass were just busting all over the place, man. And all I did was take my chatterbait, and every time I see them bust, I would just throw a chatterbait and just let it fall.
And all
And
of
they
them
would.
are largies or are they spotted bass?
Oh no, it's only largemouths out
That's
there,
only
man.
largemouth. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, it was a crazy time, man. It's a lot of good places out there, a lot of good stories, man. I had a couple friends out there, man. My guys, John and Adam. We met. It was funny. We met when I was in my 127, and we would always run into each other at this one lake, Lake Five.
Mhm.
Um, and
Damn,
we
you're
would,
giving the juice out, man. You're giving the
yeah,
juice.
we would cross, dude. We would cross paths every once in a while. I
Mhm.
think I ran into them like 2 times, and then like on a third time, Adam was like, "Hey, man, we're coming out here next Sunday. If you want to join us," I was like, "Cool, yeah, I'll meet you guys out there." Next Sunday, we met up. We fished together. The
Mhm.
next Sunday after that, we met up. We fished together, dude, for almost a year straight. That was our thing. Every Sunday, we would meet up and fish together at Tender Rock, somewhere on Tender Rock, man. Like
Oh wow.
never. Only time we didn't fish together, man, was if someone had something they had to be at, right? Something with family they had to
Yeah.
be at. But it was like religion, brother. Every Sunday we'd be together. Those are my brothers, man, for
Yeah.
sure.
That's what it's about, man. Just
Oh
having your
yeah.
brothers and just meeting them up on the water. Or at least
Oh
doing what we're doing, at least talking with each other,
yeah.
or
Absolutely,
sending memes to
man.
each other.
Yeah,
Man, so that
absolutely.
was like there's no like one specific time where it was like one of the best stories you had. It's the whole year, 365 days that you had, like you meet up with him every single day on the water, or not every single day, every single Sunday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah, I don't, man, dude, like I've never had like just a crazy experience. Like for
Mm,
me, it's the entire body, right? It's everything because like I said, I learned how to fish in
yeah,
2018. Right. That was the first time I picked up a rod and reel in 2018, man. And
yeah,
I jumped on a kayak like 6 months later, you know. So it's just an ever it's continuing, you know what I mean? This whole experience for me is great. And like he was saying, like I had those guys in Florida, like those are my guys, right? Like, 'cause I learned
yeah,
with those guys, right?
yeah,
I listen. I will never turn down information and knowledge from people who've been doing it longer than me, right? Like,
hmm,
I'll never do that, right? So I learned a lot from those guys out there, and then that coming out here, I learned a hell of a lot
yeah.
about struggling in SoCal, right? Like so, so.
Oh, dude, that might lead us into our other question, man. Like, what do you not mind giving up in California? Like, what are the things that you're just gonna be like, I'm glad I left that. Like,
The biggest thing is how expensive it is to fish. Like, dude, I can't. You can have that. Like, I remember when I first got here, right, and I went to go
mhm.
fish Pudding Stone, and they told me it cost $20 when I pulled up. $20 to fish one of the worst places you can fish in Southern California. $20, dude, that broke my heart, man. I was like, what are you like? I came from Florida where I ain't paid nothing. If anything, I had to pay $3 to fish. Like, so yeah, y'all can have that, man. Y'all can have every bit of that. I
I'm pretty sure anglers that love Pudding Stone will appreciate that because like they don't want any more anglers over there. So you're not advertising. You're not putting that lake on the map. Pretty much, you're
oh
taking
man,
it off completely off of the Yak-n-Zak map.
dude. Hey, I told Chris, if Chris is on, I told Chris and Amy, like, yo, I'm never coming back here ever again. It was like it was probably my fourth trip at Pudding Stone. I was like, I'll never come back to this lake again. First of all, it costs too much money, and it costs too much money to always get skunked. I was getting skunked there left and right, bro. I was like, yeah, like not doing it. So yeah, y'all can
Yeah,
have that expensive fish and stuff, brother. Like have it. But that's about it. That's about it. Like the toughness of like so we got to clear it, right. Like so there's a delineation between NorCal and SoCal, right? As far as how tough it is to
yeah,
fish,
yeah.
right?
There
Like
is a big difference, man.
yeah,
You know it. Tell us a little bit of your experience up NorCal versus SoCal.
absolutely. Like so, I think my best well, we'll talk about tournament finishes, right? My best finish tournament wise, I think was El Cap, right?
Hmm.
SoCal. I that's probably my favorite for that reason. My favorite lake in SoCal is El Cap.
Hmm.
Definitely like it, but it is. I mean, it's still tough, right?
Yeah.
It's just, and so what I the thing that kills me the most about SoCal, the difference between SoCal and up north, man, is like I came from Florida, right? So I'm used to multiple launches at the lake,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so here, especially SoCal, like these reservoirs, there's one launch. There's one launch, and everybody ain't about to travel X amount of miles to go fish, right? So you're normally sitting next to your buddy fishing in a tournament, which to me is crazy. Right
Yep.
when I first seen it, when I first got here, I was like, why is everybody so close to each other? like a community hall. There's a community hall on every point, and I was just
What? Wait,
like,
wait a minute. I gotta stop you right there first, okay? Because we only have one launch ramp, you were able to kind of be a guardian angel to like one of the anglers. I don't know if you know this, but AJ mentioned you last podcast saying that you're one of the most welcoming anglers out there that gave him a positive influence in kayak fishing because when he didn't have an identifier, you hooked it up on the launch ramp and he was running late to the tournament.
God, you know, it's
And he was
crazy.
yeah, what?
Go-
Tell me.
I don't even remember that.
Huh?
I don't even remember that. I don't
Just
even remember that.
yeah.
And it's I'm not trying to toot my own horn, man, but like
Mhm.
I look out for people, period, right? Like, and I just think we all should do that, and I think most of us do it, right?
Yeah.
Because of the community. And it's one thing I will say about SoCal, like I think everyone's pretty close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we don't mind. I say we. I guess I'm SoCal guy now, right?
Mhm.
We don't mind sharing, right? Or looking out for one another, man. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even remember doing that, man. Like, but hey, you're welcome, AJ. Hey, no doubt.
Yeah.
You know.
AJ Gagliardo. He was just like he appreciate it so much and I feel like it goes a long way though. Those small little gestures that you help out and I'm sure it
Mhm.
wasn't the last time. Um freaking it helps out the community where someone new to the field or someone's like late to a tournament and like there's probably a million things going on in his head right now because he hasn't prepped
Mhm.
his kayak going to the launch ramp. He doesn't have an identifier. He's late, and then you show up and you're just like you normally do, late.
Late to the mug. Yeah.
And then you're just like, here, man, here's an identifier, dude. Like, just chill, dude. It's nothing too serious.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. I don't do like. First of all, let's get this. Like, I can care less whether I skunk or not in a tournament. Like, I'm not like. Yes, I want to do well, right? We all want to do well. No one goes into a tournament like, yeah, let me get this zero on
Yeah,
the board, right? But like for me, that's not the biggest part, right? The biggest part is just being around good people, right? But I
yeah,
do. I mean, I do want to do well. Like,
yeah,
like I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But if I don't, it's all good, man. Like whatever happened that day for me not doing well is just part of my tool bag now, right? And that's how
yeah,
everybody should look at it, right? Like whatever happened that day, uh, take it, put it in your backpack, man, and recall that stuff for the next tournament, man. Like that, and that's how I move. You know what I mean? And everything. You know what I mean? Not just fishing, just life, period, bro.
Well, I
So
saw that in your attitude over at the American Bass. So, like, your day one, you didn't really have a good day one for ABA
mm,
TOC, right?
who did? But yeah,
Right. But then day
uh,
two, you're like, oh, I found something and I learned off of it. Like,
yeah,
can you go into that where you found
yeah.
something, a little treasure chest, and now you could take it with you?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, day one was horrible for me. I caught two fish, I believe, whatever, and I was super late. Day one, no big deal. That's the norm for me. Day day
Well, no,
day.
no. Let's take it back to your pre-fish.
Oh
Okay, let's
yeah.
take it back to your
Uh,
pre-fish.
so I leave what tournament started what Friday, right?
Yes.
So I left Thursday morning. I left late, obviously, right? So
Yeah.
I get there a little late. I trailer down to wherever I was launching from. I take my kayak off. I put it in the water, and I stood there for like 15 minutes, just looking at the water. And I was like, "Yeah, I ain't doing this. I'm getting out of here, man. I'm not. I didn't feel like that. I just didn't feel like pre-fishing, man. Like I'm not pre-fishing,
Yeah.
man. Let me pack up and go back to my campsite and set up, man. So yeah, so I didn't even pre-fish, man. But I rarely ever pre-fish. The last time I pre-fished
Yeah.
here in SoCal, like I had a great pre-fish, but I skunked in the tournament. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it again. Plus the drive, it's too much for me to drive to these places anyway. But yeah, so day one was horrible. Well, two fish, and then
Mhm.
day two I got a late launch, and I went. So I just start motoring down, down the middle of the lake, and I hit. my first point I hit on cranking, right? So I catch a fish, and I was like, all right, well, I'm keeping a crankbait in my hand the rest of the time, and I keep going into a little cove or whatever, and I marked this lay down in there, man, this brush pile, whatever it was, and it was fish just sitting on it. And I was like, all right, let me see what's down here, man, and
Yeah.
cranked, and I caught one in a crankbait, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna sit here and
Yeah.
and just fish it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
I started alternating between the crankbait and the jig, man. Like when the wind picked up, I would throw the crankbait, right? When the wind would die back down, 'cause I remember that day it kept going. You know, we kept getting these little flurries, whatever. It would be windy, and then it wouldn't be windy. So when it wasn't windy anymore, I would throw that jig down there and just hit the spotlight on and just pop the jig over, and I would feel that log down there. I would feel it.
Yeah.
Feel the jig pop over it, and once the jig popped over it, I let it sit.
Yeah.
And most of my hits on the jig came from right when I popped over it, put them in the boat. But like I was saying, man, I was out of it, right? After day one, two fish, there's really a slim chance of you doing anything significant, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit here, like I said in the video, I'm gonna sit here all day. Now if
Mhm.
I had been in a position where I think I could have made some moves, I would have left that spot, right? I would have left that
Mhm.
spot. I would have caught what I needed to catch off of it, and I would have let it sit for a little bit. I would have went somewhere else to try to find more fish because I would have need that. I would have needed that spot for a backup, right? If I
Yeah.
actually need to come back and get fish, but I was out of contention, man. Like
Yeah.
let me let me sit here and have fun. Like let me just
Yeah.
catch fish. You know what I mean? I haven't
Yeah.
caught that many fish in a tournament since I've been here, right? Like
Where
so.
what are some of the new things that you learned? Have you come across an area or like that one? It was like a spot within a spot. Like there was
Yeah.
no other spot around there. Like that was like a castaway, right? So there's that
No.
lay down, right? And that was
Yeah.
it. Same,
Yep.
same, same cast, pretty much.
Basically. Yep. I would. And here's the thing: I would change directions too. I would flip
Mhm.
cast one way and then flip cast the other way, come back the other way. Yeah. That was it, bro. Like
Did that help? Like flipping different directions and taking a
yeah, it
different
did.
line?
It did.
Okay.
I caught something coming the other way. Bumping into the log the other way because I guess it depended on where those where the branches, the limbs of the log was at, right? Like
Yeah.
now, what y'all didn't see in the video was I lost a lot of damn
Yeah.
crankbaits, man.
Oh, damn. How many did you lose?
Yeah, I don't know, man. A handful, too many, because they all expensive, right? Well, not expensive, but yeah. But I mean, I saved a
Yeah.
lot too because my lure knocker helped me get some of them off, man. But yeah, I snagged up a couple times, man. So
You have the lure knocker with the chains on it, right?
no, I have just the regular the red
Oh,
one, the little
okay.
bullet flip one. But what I started doing was because I would end up losing those too,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because they get stuck too. So I would
Yeah.
just tie. I just tied like 60-pound braid on the end of it.
Yeah.
And then hook that to my line and just run it down there. That way, if I couldn't get the lure undone, I'd still keep my doggone lure knocker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least, and I lose both of them.
You know what's a
But yeah, so
crazy thing though is like one time I was fishing an ice jig and I caught onto the structure and I didn't have any lure knockers on me. So I just cranked that thing up, the ice jig on like 8-pound test, I believe. And I brought up the structure. It was like man-made metal shopping cart structure. And then so I dropped it back down the structure and it settled on the bottom. And then I took another cast at that structure that I lifted up all the way up in the surface and dropped down.
yeah,
And I caught like an 18.5-inch fish on it. So that didn't
hmm.
scare the fish.
It was just
Literally, like
crazy.
it went up and then went down, and the fish came back to it, to that
Ah,
structure.
that was a dinner bell, man.
That's a dinner.
The knock at the door, man. Yeah, that's
um.
crazy.
So, let me see. What were some of the best things about California?
Oh, all right. Hate to sound cliche.
You got nothing to
it,
say.
it took a long time, right?
You're like, let me. That's gonna take some
I'm
time.
telling you, like so. honestly, the best thing about California, man, is the amount of tournaments that you can fish. Like, I think that it's insane. Like, when I left Florida, there was literally, I think, one trail, right, that was available. KF was the only trail that I think was available at that point in time, which is crazy for the state of Florida where you can fish year round, right? Like,
That is
you fish
crazy.
all year long. Like, there should be tournaments no, it was like one. And then when I came out here, I'm like, dude, there's like 18 different clubs you can fish, man. Like, it was ridiculous, man. So that's
Yeah.
great. You know,
The
that was that
competition is great. Yeah.
yeah, it was cool to see that, man. So that, I'll definitely,
Is there a lot more going on in Florida? Like there's more than one circuit, or is there still only like one?
so now, if I don't know if anybody from Florida is on, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but like,
Mm,
so KAF went away. Now it's Florida something trail, right? They have a trail, and
mm,
then they have the Bass Trail, right? So, and they divide the state into 4 regions. So,
mm.
which is a great thing. I mean, huge congrats to those guys, man, that they put that together and got that going. Because it was, I mean, people don't think about how big Florida actually is, man. For somebody living up in Jacksonville to drive down to southern Florida to fish, it's still, I think, like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot, man. And then the guys who live up on the Panhandle that want to come down, that's that's a lot. Like,
How many
so
hours
then
is that?
I have no idea. So I'm talking like Pensacola area. Like, I don't know how far that is to drive down to, like, if you want to
Yeah.
go to Okeechobee.
I
It's
see.
probably 7 hours at least, I
So
think.
it's similar to California.
Yeah, yeah. Even though
Mm,
Cali's much bigger, obviously, but yeah, it's the same way. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's a long drive to go from top of the state to the bottom of the state, or from the Panhandle to the bottom of the state.
So
So
you're
yeah,
saying they broke it down by 4 parts of Florida. So now
yep,
they have 4 things going on. But
yeah,
then a guy can travel like 8 or 10 hours to go fish that other area,
yeah,
that other
yeah, yeah.
circuit.
The other region, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's all the same. I mean, it's all the
Oh,
same.
I see.
I think it's Bass. Is it Bass Nation or whatever the hell
Bass
it is?
Nation, probably. Yeah. Bass
Yeah.
Nation
So
chapter. Yep.
yeah, so they got four. Yeah, they got 4 divisions in there, man.
I like
Yeah,
that. They should have that
yeah.
in they
Dude, it's
should have
dope.
that here in California, man. Like
Yeah,
breaking it into 3 because you have like Northern California, Central California, and then
yeah.
you have Southern California.
And then they have one
Like and
championship. Yeah,
exactly. And then like people wouldn't have to spend $100 in gas or more to go all the
yeah.
way up north to fish, CA Bass Nation, and then on top of that, Airbnb and etc. to get that
Absolutely.
amount of practice. Having a SoCal Bass Nation and then a Central, especially for those guys that are in Central, like Task Moi, Damien Tao, all Max Lee, like
Hmm.
they're traveling still 4 or 5 hours to probably like 3 to 5 hours to get to the Delta or Clear Lake.
Delta and Clear Lake. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Nah, yeah, dude, it's Florida. That was a smart move on Florida, man. Like, those guys
yeah,
down there. I mean, but that started at ground level, right? Like,
yeah,
if the demand for it is there, like, there's people that will make it happen. You know what I mean? And,
yeah,
and I think the same can happen for California. It can
yeah.
happen. There's enough people to support it.
You know
Clearly,
who I would want to like be the tournament director of SoCal and Central is Amanda Brannon. She's
yeah, she can
great.
run the show. Yeah, she can definitely
Yeah.
run the show, man. She's proven she can do it, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely second that, man.
Yeah. Do you see
Absolutely.
yourself ever moving back to California, or this is
Nah,
the
bro. Nah. Nah, this is my second stint in California, right? Like, so
Oh.
I was stationed here in from 2000 to 2003. I was stationed Central Coast. I was at Vandenberg, so Santa Maria, Lompoc area, all
Mm.
that stuff. Yeah, yeah. So that's where I was back then. And then, like I said before, I don't know. So again, coincidence, right? California was my first duty assignment, and it's my last.
Oh wow.
It's my last duty assignment, right? Like, yeah. So, honestly, brother, if I wasn't here, if I was back, if I had to go back to where I was first stationed at, I wouldn't mind it. If I had to go be stationed up in uh, Northern California, Fairfield
Yeah.
area, obviously I wouldn't mind it because I'm right by Clear Lake and everything.
And
It's just that,
Delta. Yeah.
yeah. It's just that where I'm at here, it sucks. Like
Yeah. Any way you go is how long of a drive to water?
minimum 2 hours minimum,
Damn.
and that's to the crappy places. You know what I'm saying? Like
Damn.
that's minimum 2 hours. So I'm like, and that's why I hang out on the pond a lot. Like I was
Yeah.
fortunate enough to have that pond here. So if I wasn't fishing tournament, but I'm not traveling nowhere, brother. Like
It's the content pond.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because like it's the only place, and I said this before, and I think my last video, it's the only place I can get a real frog bite here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that like you said, and that's some good content. If you get a bunch of frog bites and
Besides El Cap is pretty good.
So
El Cap is a sleeper.
I've never fished topwater El Cap.
Dude,
Never.
it's crazy. When it's on fire, it's on fire. Or frog bite. Like there's nothing that I threw other than maybe a small Kayak or something like that. But who wants to throw that? Fun fishing, you know what I mean? But freaking phenomenal day, dude. Almost every single fish came off of frog, and it was I'd say it was like 7 to 10 fish that day.
Really?
Yeah, it was on fire, straight fire, bro.
Well, you know what, and it's clearly I didn't fish it enough because the only time I fished El Cap was if there's a tournament. I never went down there to fun fish again because the travel, man. It just I'm not good because El Cap for me is almost 3 hours, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
is a Central Lake closer to you? Like is Pine Flat or Eastman closer to you?
Nah, same distance, 3-4 hours, man.
Damn, so you're like you're a hybrid. You're not even Central. You're not in SoCal, but you're in like Central SoCal.
Yeah, man, it's horrible.
The armpit.
Yeah. So if y'all know if y'all watching and listening, Lancaster, Palmdale, like I'm in that. I'm past that. Like, not even in that because it still takes me 40 minutes just to get to Palmdale from where.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in the desert, brother. The real desert.
Do you have fun like shooting around, or that's not your cup of tea? Like,
what do you mean?
Shooting range and.
Nah, man. I'm not. I don't. I mean, yeah, no. I've been shooting here in California. I don't like California. Is not 2A friendly. So.
Cheeto wants to know. One of our listeners today wants to know about the pond. How much pressure does it get? Is it just you, or do you have like military buddies? You don't have anybody that came in.
Zero.
Like, fished with you. There's no one there.
There has been that pond gets zero. I'm like that's literally my pond. I get mad when I see somebody out there, right? But I see somebody on the bank.
You're
like,
passing. You're trespassing.
Yeah. I'm like, why are you here? There's no bass in here. Why are you here? Like, yeah, no, dude, that place gets there's no pressure there. Like, no one fishes that place. Now, there's one. I mean, every once in a while, there's a couple guys that come out there in the summertime. They would be out there, but they're fishing for like crappie and bluegill, right? Like, so cool. But and there's a couple guys that show up every once in a while that are bank fishing for bass. I've seen. There was one time, my jerkbait fishing video. That day there were 3 guys on paddle boards out there fishing, but they didn't stay long, and they left, and I haven't seen them since. So
were they like?
But yeah,
pop boards.
Yeah, I don't know what they were. They were paddle whatever. They were sitting on them.
Yeah,
I don't know, but they're on. But yeah, no, man, no pressure on that pond, brother. Like,
Mike's asking you, like, why do you want to move away from your own personal pond?
Mike, who's that?
Cheeto.
Oh, Cheeto. Dude, because it's in California.
Is there big ones in there?
Yeah, there is. I think the biggest I caught was like 5 pounds. just under 6.
But do you think there's a
I,
10?
I I'll never say no, right? Like,
Yeah.
because if there's a 5, there's a 10, right? Like there's a 6, there's a 10.
Maybe.
There,
But there's
there's
no bait fish in there, right? There's no trout plants or bait fish, right?
No, just well, there's bluegill crappie, man, and then there's
Okay.
some kind of shad or something in there. There's something, a real small fish that grows in there, brother.
I
Like,
see.
yeah, they're in there. But
Yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, that's why I think there is, and there's a what's those damn fish that I hate? Gold scales. I can never remember the name.
Carp?
Carp. Yeah, there's some carp in there too. I can't even remember the name of the carp. But yeah. Dude, there's some. I don't doubt it. I will never say there's not, because there's a pond that I used to fit. Well, it's more a little bigger than a pond that I used to fish on the base in Florida. Right, fish there all the time. Caught some 6s, caught a lot of 5s. Caught, and I was like, there's no 10 in here. There can't be a 10 in here.
Yeah.
And I fished that place religiously on the bank, on the kayak, and sure enough, one day I'm bank fishing during lunch with one of my buddies, and he catches a 10-pounder. Like,
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah. So I know, that's why I say it. It's a 6, it's a 10. There has to be.
Yeah. Wait, but
And
was there rainbow trout in there? Were there stocks?
no. So only thing in that pond was bluegill, and well, as far as bait fish, that was it. Like, there was nothing else. And then we had snook in there, but they wasn't eating no snook, right? And redfish, they weren't eating the redfish. Like so, the only bait they had to eat. Oh, and tilapia. There was a lot of tilapia in there.
Oh, I think that's it.
Yeah. So there was tilapia in there for sure. But yeah, brother, like, he caught a 10. So that's why I say, hey, if there's a 6, there's got to be a 10.
Is this pond that you're fishing right now? It's not accessible to the public, right?
No, it's not. You meaning you can't just roll up and jump on the and come out there and fish, because first of all, you gotta get base access, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you want to come fish, right, and you say, hey, so I want to come to fish, sure, like, I'll get you a pass.
Dude, can I come? Can I come like next week?
Come on base. Sure.
Dude, I'm coming out there then.
You come whenever you want. Just let me know, man. As long as you ain't got no record.
I don't think I have a record. I think they could have been expunged. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm talking felonies. If you got a felony, then they'd be like,
no,
like, nah,
no
bro.
felonies.
Yeah, no, you good. Yeah, man, you can get on. Definitely get on, bro.
Dude, I've been blessed. I don't have any felonies. I feel like I was a bad boy too. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
Did you come close to getting trouble, like, before fishing? Do you feel like fishing has kind of brought some positive vibes in your life, get you out of trouble of anything?
Nah. I wasn't in trouble to begin with.
No.
I'm not that guy, man. Like, I keep away from trouble. I can spot trouble a mile away, man. Like, nah.
I'm trying to bring in some. Do you listen to the real ones with John Berthel, or what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, from Walking Dead?
No.
No? Okay. Well, he gets like he gets like people on his podcast that are well-known celebrities or actors that were convicted of murder and etc. You know, it's crazy. I'm trying to dig. I'm like,
this ain't that. I ain't ever stab shot nobody. None of that. Like,
I was wondering, like, does Zach have a dark side?
Nah, I may have killed
know about.
Nah, I may have killed a fish or two by accident, but I ain't never killed no human.
Tell me about that story. All right, Zach, tell me about that story.
Nah,
when you killed a fish.
Have all took a hook a little too deep, man. You know what I mean?
Tell us about
and that's
that
in the beginning.
Let's go deep into the story of you killing that fish. Let's get all them haters commenting on this video.
Nah. Like, listen, I ain't the only one. Y'all out there too.
Yeah.
So,
have you ever eaten a bass?
No, I have. I've never eaten a bass.
Damn, dude, you should be proud, man. You should be proud.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not, nah. I mean, I would try one. No, I ain't nothing against it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I just have never caught, cooked, and eaten one, man. So
Have you
yeah.
ever seen the comment threads of like a post where someone had, a video of them cooking a bass? Do you ever go through
Ah,
those comment threads?
I go, yeah, I read them. They're hilarious. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
There's
Like,
some
I
guys
mean,
that are like super political about it, or like they'll be like,
yeah,
"Oh my
yeah. I mean,
god."
so I give you my stance on that. Like, and
Yeah.
it's, I mean, it may be unpopular, right? Whatever. Like, there's a limit for me, like on the size of bass that you take home, dude. Like
Yeah.
5, 6 pound bass, man. Let them things go, man. Let them go back to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's no,
I'm
like
with you.
I'm not, yeah. Let that go. 2 pounders, eat them all day. 3 pounders, maybe to eat them too, man.
I
But
feel
like,
the same way. I feel the same way. Like, why are people arguing? Like, if someone catches a black bass, or if someone brings home a black bass from 99 Ranch Market or some market that sells black bass, and it's only a
mhm.
1.5, 13-inch bass, and he's cooking it for content or something like that, he has every right to. He bought it at a
Oh,
market,
you
or
bought
he
it at the
caught
market.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, but people will
Yeah.
argue too that I paid for my license. I'm allowed to take X amount, right? Like, so I can do what I
Oh
want to do with
yeah.
this bass, right? You're right.
Yeah.
And just saying that's why I say like to each his own, right? But my stance, this is my stance. Like, I don't subscribe to that at all.
I mean,
But
I would definitely be invested into a policy where they say you could keep a 12-inch bass, a 13-inch bass, but once it goes over 19 or 18, then you can't.
yeah, there's a lot. I mean, and that's Florida has something like that. You can keep up to X amount, but and with
Yeah.
one over a certain amount, everything else has to be under this
Yeah.
length or whatever. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have, yeah. I mean,
Florida
yeah,
has that?
yeah, something like that. I don't know the exact numbers, but
Yeah.
yeah, they do have that where yeah, you can only keep a certain one over a certain amount, and then everything else has to be under X amount, whatever the hell that is. I don't care about any of that because I don't keep fish, right? So, but
Carlos says, let him go, let him grow, pay attention.
pay attention. That's my guy. What up, Carlos?
He says, pay
That
attention.
that's my guy. Hey, so I learned a lot from him, man. I learned a lot from him in Florida. I fished with him with the Polk County boys, man. We had a lot of tournaments, and dude can fish. And when he says pay attention, he means it. Pay attention. Like
Dude, I'm gonna have to
dude,
fish with Carlos and you, and I'm gonna have to tease him. I'm gonna bring a stringer and take a 12-inch bass.
oh man, yeah.
Oh
So we're so
man.
leaving here,
So,
right?
well, all right. I don't know. We change it off of something we random
yeah.
ADHD. That's my ADHD. But why are you moving? What's the
All right.
biggest? What is the real reason? Because that's the hook of this podcast.
Well,
Tell
yeah,
everybody.
and most people who follow me know, like, so I'm retiring, right? I'm retiring from the military. It's been a long, long, long ride, 23 years, and I'm hanging it up. And so on top of that, like, so my wife is also PCS, and she has orders to go to the base, so that's why I'm leaving. Really,
Mm,
I mean, even if she didn't, like, we'd be out of here.
yeah.
But yeah, so that's why I'm leaving, man. I'm retiring, and plus it's time for my wife to move to a new assignment. So all that happened to fall in line with each other. So I retire March 1st officially. I will no longer be in the Air Force, and then a week or two later, we're leaving and headed to South Carolina, man. So
Wow. Are you
yeah,
happy? How many years? How many years in the service?
23 years, 6 months.
Damn.
Yeah, brother, long time.
23 years, 6 months.
Yeah,
It is a
man,
long time.
and it's been a fun ride, man. It's a fun ride, but yeah, I mean, and like I said, I learned a lot. I actually learned a lot.
Mhm.
And one thing just in life in general is building up resiliency, right? For me, that's the one thing that I've learned,
Mhm.
or one tool that I've kept with me is being resilient and not stressing about stuff. That's why I look like I'm 12, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like I don't stress out about a lot of stuff, brother. Like there's stuff you gotta let stuff go, man. Like
Yeah.
it happened. Once it happened, there's nothing you can do about it, right?
Yeah.
But learn from it, right? So
Hmm.
that same attitude, obviously, I carry that with me with fishing, right? Like
Yeah.
once something happened, it's gone. Like it happened for a reason, and that reason is for me to learn from it.
Yeah.
I learned a lot in these 23 years, man. I had a great career, proud of it. You know, I found a lot about myself, right? Like in the military, it provided me a lot of opportunities to do things that normally I wouldn't have done. Fishing being one, right? And then
Hmm.
music. My music has been the other one.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I don't think I'd be fishing if I wasn't in the military, right? I don't mean I don't know what I'd be doing right now, but I'm only fishing because someone in the military put a rod and reel in my hand and said,
Wow.
"Here, cast this," and I'll never forget
Damn.
that, man. So that's why I'm fishing now.
Fishing runs deep in the military, huh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean,
Or is it was just an opportunity to kind of to befriend someone, and it just so happens that he introduced you to fishing?
well, so we were friends, right? So
Yeah.
I'll tell the story.
Okay.
It was in Florida. I was on base. Like I said, there's a nice sized pond out there on the
Mhm.
base, and I would go out there every Friday. Well, not every Friday, every day during lunch. I just like being out there because of the water and whatnot. You know what I mean? And I would go out there, smoke a black and mild, play poker on my phone.
Was there any hot chicks hanging out there or something?
Nah, man.
I don't know. I'm gonna get you, Joe. She can't hear me, right?
Nah.
Okay,
Nah.
go ahead.
Anyway, so that's what I would. That was my routine, right? Every day I would go out there and just chill. And my buddy Torres, Sergeant Torres, would come out there and he would fish. And I would see him fish, right? And I'd be like,
Mm,
oh, looks relaxing. You know what I mean? And it became this thing. I'd be out there, he'd be out there. I'd be out there, he'd be out there, right? Like, and then one
yeah.
day he was out there, and he was like, "Hey, well, come over here." So I went over there, and he was like, "Here, you ever fished before?" I was like, "Nah." He's like, "You want to try?" I was like, "Sure." So he gave me this rod or reel. It was a mock. It was a loose mock, whatever mock. I don't know they were mock 2, mock 3,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
whatever it was. It was the green one, right?
yeah.
So he gave me that spinner setup, and he showed me how to cast it, and I made a cast, and I was like, "Oh, I like this." I didn't even catch nothing yet. I
Yeah,
hadn't caught a fish at all, but I was. It was just the anticipation of something biting, right? Like,
yeah, yeah.
all right, so my line's out there. Now what? I just hang out and wait. He showed me how to work it. It was a wacky worm. That's what it was. That was my first lure that I caught fish on was a wacky worm, right?
Yep.
So after that, man, I started asking questions. How do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? I went back to my shop. I was like, yo, guys, I was fishing with Torres and and they all knew
Yep.
about fishing and they told me what rod and reel to get, dude. Like and Bass Pro Shop that following weekend went and bought my first setup.
Mhm.
Um, and dude, and I still had that setup, the exact setup I still have.
What was it?
It's a Fluger
Yeah.
7 foot medium spinning rod, and and then the Fluger, I think it was the President
Presidential.
lock? Yeah, presidential joint. Yeah,
Yep.
I bought that. I
Smooth
still got
reel,
that
man.
giant. I still got
Smooth
it. Yeah,
reel.
yeah, man. I'm gonna give it to one of my coworkers, man. One of the guys that work for me. I'm gonna give it to him. I was like, you can have it, bro.
Oh, dude, that's cool. You're passing it
Yeah,
down.
yeah, I'm letting him have it. Yeah, he's from Florida too, but he fishes. So I
What
let him get it.
prevented you from stopping? Like, you know what I mean? Because if you didn't get bit right away, it's hard to keep on going when you never
Yeah,
experienced the fight.
but I love the challenge, man. Like I love that part of it, right?
Okay.
Like I'm about to outsmart this bass. I'm gonna figure it out. This
Yeah.
bass is gonna bite this line. Aha! I tricked you. You know what I mean?
Ah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that part of it, man, the challenge of it, that's what it got me hooked into it. But and I'm also one of those kind of people, man, that if I like something,
Yeah.
I'm going 100 miles an hour. Like that's how I got into music, right? Like I liked it and I got started and it just went. It just blew up, man. So
Yeah.
same thing with
And
fishing, man.
a lot of the music, or almost all of the music on your channel, you mixed.
Yeah, everything, every any music on my video is I made it. Yeah, I made it.
Oh, that's
Absolutely,
awesome.
100%. Yeah, man.
Man, we gotta get you on my channel. Mix something for my channel. That would be cool.
Yeah, but if I can get away from fishing, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like the fishing has taken me away from making music. Every once in
Oh,
a while, yeah, every once in a while, I get some time to sit down and create something, whatever.
do you
But
use any subscriptions or no? Like
for
subscriptions for music, for beats, or for instrumentals, or anything like
nah,
that?
well, I use. I mean, we're about to get way off on a tangent here, but
I know. Just real
yeah,
quick.
like Splice. If you're familiar with
Yeah.
Splice, I use Splice for a lot
Splice.
of for a lot of sounds, and then
Okay.
that's really it as far as subscription based, man. But
Okay.
yeah.
Let me see. What can we expect from Yak-n-Zak Fishing in terms of content for the future? Do you have something up your sleeve, or you're just like, we're gonna keep things the same because things have, you're happy with things staying the same?
Yeah, I'm not doing nothing different, man. The only thing that's gonna
Yeah.
change for me is location, right? Like,
Yeah.
so I'll be fishing Lake Murray, Hartwell, Santee. Those would be my, the lakes you'll see me on most often. More than likely, I'll be on Murray more often than not. But yeah, man, like that's where I'm gonna be at. I'm not gonna change anything up. I'm still gonna be fun fishing. Still gonna be doing tournaments, man. Like so,
That's pretty
just
awesome. That's actually good news. I mean, we're not, how we all make a mistake by promising content to our viewers and stuff, and then we don't
yeah.
execute. Like I've done that. I've done that so many times. But like, now that you're around bodies of water that it's not, would you say easily accessible, like within an hour?
Uh, yeah. So Santee is like 30, 40 minutes away from me, where
And
I'll
then
be at.
Murray, what
Murray is
about
like an hour,
now that
depending
you
on
have,
what.
yeah, now that you have
It,
variety,
yeah,
like that's less than an hour and stuff. Can we kind of like assume that there's going to be a little bit more content on several of those lakes?
yeah, I would, yeah, absolutely, because I would like to be able to upload 2 videos a week. Right now, I had to cut back to one. So when I was in Florida, I think I was doing two a week, just because it was so easy for me to get to water, right? But
Yeah.
here it's like I got to drive quite a distance to get to water, so I cut it back to just one video a week. But yeah, I'm definitely the goal. I'm not gonna promise anything, but the
Yeah.
goal is definitely to start getting on a 2 video week schedule.
Dude, that's going to be awesome because you're retired. We're going to look at it in your perspective of like retired from work, from Air Force. Let's see what Zach has in terms of content as a retired from Air Force. Like, is going to be a lot more now. 2 videos per week. It's gonna be at
Hey,
Hartwell, Santee, Cooper. What is Lake Murray? Like all those
yeah,
lakes that you see, on like deep into bass fishing down south, or East Coast.
yeah,
Like those lakes are more on the map in terms of bass fishing versus
oh
like you
yeah,
you don't hear about Lower Otay or Lake Paris. Like no one knows
yeah.
that those lakes and
Well,
down south.
yeah, I tell you the cool thing. Well, I don't know if you call it cool or not, but for me, like driving so much here in California, now I'm conditioned to drive that far, right? So when I get to South Carolina, man, like the amount of bodies of water in a 6 hour radius from where I'm going to be at is huge. There's a lot to
Wow.
get to because I can get down into Georgia, I can get up into North Carolina easily, right?
Hmm.
Virginia, Tennessee. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna make a stop. I don't know if you're familiar with Bass and Beer. My guy Josh Sharp out there, man. Like, I talk, so I'm gonna make a stop out there. Get on some
Nice.
small mouse on Chickamauga or something, or one of the river channels out there, man. So yeah, man, I'm just happy to go back to East, brother. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna try to do as much fishing as I possibly can. So
They're
I'm
already
definitely looking forward to
expecting
it.
you. They're already waiting for you, man. There's a few
Yeah,
people waiting for you to come.
Yeah. So what's it called? Queen City, I believe is the name of the group
Yeah.
out there, the club out there. Yeah. So I'll probably most likely fish with those guys, and then there's a bass chapter out there as well. The only thing about the Queen City, like I told you, we talked about this at the campfire one day, is no motors, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's going to be an adjustment for me, right?
Mhm.
Fishing with no motors, even though I did it for so long.
Yeah.
Um, it's just that I mean that having that motor on it for me, right? I'm speaking for myself here. Like having that motor on it for me is it allows me to do certain things that I wasn't able to do comfortably and efficiently without it. You know what I mean?
Ah, I see.
Like fishing a jerk bait and a crankbait offshore,
Hmm.
right? Like that motor to me, in my opinion, is essential for that. You know what I mean? Because I can sit on one spot and hit
And
that jerk
fish the
bait, that
spot.
crankbait, right? Like so with
Yeah.
no motor, depending on conditions out there, right, the wind and whatnot, like it, that's tough to do. You know,
Hmm.
it's doable with some work, but you know,
It's kind of like that extra peace of mind. Like you don't have to focus on keeping in position. Like you
yeah,
could stay in position, and all you have to worry about is, am I making that same exact accurate cast?
that's the part.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
absolutely the part, man.
Yeah.
But I've learned for using my electronics, man. Like I keep my casting rings on once I mark a spot, right? So
Yeah.
on the hummingbird, so I know about how far I am. If I catch a fish, it didn't drift off. I can paddle back to that 25 yard, 50 yards out from that spot, so I
Hmm.
know I'm in the area. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, so I'm gonna have to get adjusted to that, man. Is that fishing with no motor? Ugh.
It's okay.
Yeah. So now I
Just
look
leave
forward to
that
fish.
in California. Leave it in California. Just leave it with me. Put the
Oh
XI3. I
no,
need a backup.
because obviously I'm still gonna need it for when I'm out there just on my own having
Yeah.
fun fishing. That motor will come in handy for sure, man. But yeah, man, looking forward to fishing with those guys. Pretty large group from what I see and what I understand. Now I believe they only have a 4 fish limit.
Oh wow.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
What is
yeah.
their chapter name or their
Ah,
organization?
here I tell you, I pull up in hot 2 seconds, man.
Queen City Kayak Fishing?
Is that what somebody on there hit them up? Let me
QKF?
know. Yeah, yeah. Queen City Kayak Bass Fishing.
Oh dude, I was almost right.
Yeah,
Queen City
yeah.
Kayak Bass Fishing. Anybody that's looking to get into, how much is the entry fee?
Ooh, don't get me lying, bro. I don't know.
Is it something serious like ABA
No,
or
no,
KF?
dude. It's a 4 fish limit. No.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
So
so you're talking like,
it's a big group. That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
it's a lot of people. You know what I mean? They normally have a
yeah.
really big turnout, but the entry fee is nowhere near. It's way less than $100. I think it's like
Oh,
60 bucks or
really?
something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Before
yeah,
I
yeah,
wanted to throw a recommendation out there, I was wondering what the entry is, because I don't want to throw like some beginner kayak tournament fisherman recommend Queen City and then it's like $300 entry fee or something like that.
Nah,
But
it's reasonable. I think their whole premise is based off of just that.
yeah,
Allowing those people who have never fished to get in. You know what I mean? A way to get into it. You know what I mean? And still be
yeah,
competitive. So, it's cool. Respect what they're doing for sure. But yeah,
yeah.
man,
I think that's
we'll
a
see.
great organization if it's that low, especially for someone that can't afford, forward facing sonar or
Yeah,
electronics. They can only fish shallow. They only have a paddle kayak or a lower tier pedal drive kayak. Like, I guess that's probably the best one to fish in.
yeah, yeah,
Best
yeah, yeah.
organization. Yeah. And is it primarily shallow over there or is there deep water over there?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I'm
You
still watching my MLF videos, and
know?
I was just watching them guys fishing Murray
Yeah.
in 21. So I was just like, let me check it out. But
We're gonna have to get you back on the podcast to just tell us about your experience out there. You're moving in March, you said?
yeah, yeah, we should hit the road about March 11th, March 10th, something like that, and we'll
Okay.
take a few days to get there and stop by in Tennessee, see some family, and then
All right.
we'll get there. But yeah,
So definitely go to Yak-n-Zak's YouTube channel. I put the link below if you're on YouTube. You can find it in the description. I believe you can find it on Facebook as well. But I think we can expect to see some Carolina content probably later this year then. Huh.
I'm actually caught up on videos for the first time in a long time. I'm all caught
Yeah.
up on all my videos. I have nothing else that's waiting to be edited, man. So that feels great. At the same time, I feel like I might go a week or two without any content put up unless I figure out something to do. So yeah.
Have you networked with Alex on the water, Alex Sterling at all? Or no? Have you talked with him
Nah, I believe we're friends for
on
sure.
Instagram?
I follow
Okay.
him. Yeah. But we haven't done any content together on the water. Yeah.
Maybe I'll open a DM, introduce you guys or something like that. Or like you guys can start talking because I think he's out in that area too.
Where's he at? Georgia?
I don't know. I forgot. Hey, Alex, you're in the chat. Where are you at right now?
Is he?
What city? Yeah. He says James is 100 feet and Norman has 40 plus and Hartwell has 30 plus.
Oh, that's not bad. That's it though. See, yeah.
He says, wait, why am I being
Oh,
highlighted all the time? Alex and J-Way are awesome. We will eventually catch up with QC KBF tourneys. He's in NC, North Carolina.
okay.
Yeah. So how far are you guys going to be out from each other if he's in NC?
So I'll be Alex. I'll be out in basically between Columbia and Sumter, so at Shaw Air Force Base. So I don't know how far you are from there.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool to see you guys link up and create some sort of kayak ditch day out there, you know?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, you laugh, but I think
Yeah.
I think we well, I'll say you. I think you're the one who created that whole room, but
I don't know
there
if I could take that credit. I think
I
it
don't
was
know
the
who made,
collective. Yeah, I don't know who made
but
it either.
like I think I've been thinking about this for the past couple of days, man. Like that can be something huge if you want it to be.
Oh,
Um,
kayak ditch day?
yeah. I think I'm telling you, I got this
Yeah.
vision. I got a vision. I
Yeah.
got a vision for it. We'll talk offline. I don't want to give
Yeah.
away any.
Definitely. But yeah, I do too. I feel like we're a good group of guys. There's not
Yeah.
one guy in that like you when I say this, I say it like this is my new family of fishing right here. When I got into kayak fishing, all those guys are super supportive, along with you too, man. Like I feel like we grew together,
Yeah.
especially after American Bass TOC. You know what I mean? I spent some good times with you, bro. Like around the campfire, around them
Uh,
raccoons, like especially
yeah.
with the animals around us, dude. That was good times, man.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely, man. And the Clear Lake House too. You know, I mean, that was fun.
Oh yeah, Clear Lake too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but yeah, the whole crew, man.
Yeah.
All around, and everyone's very diverse in what they do,
Yeah.
right? Like everyone has their own little niche
Yeah.
and does it well, brother. So I definitely like I said before, I appreciate everything I've learned from you, Chris, Jaime, even Shane, Cheeto.
Yeah.
Like I love Cheeto because Cheeto is big baits or nothing, dude. Like that's
Yeah,
it. Like
dude. Like
and
you
that's
don't
my
get that YouTube channel. You don't get that kayak fishing. Like that's why I say he's unique. Like when you say he has a certain niche, like he's doing his thing, is
mhm.
because he doesn't even fish tournaments with us and stuff. But he
No.
makes it's so entertaining to watch him go a different path and do it that way.
Yeah. Oh,
You know.
absolutely, man. Yeah.
And
Yeah, man.
anytime you need a kayak or anything like that, he'll be like, "Yeah, go take my kayak, man. Go use it." Like if your kayak broke down, you know.
Right. Right. Is he still on here? Is he in here? Or is he
I
gone?
don't know. I don't know if he's still
Yeah.
on here. I don't know if there's a way to check. Um, But yeah, Shane's building up his own rods. That's pretty cool, man. Chris Cabral, dude, look at his garage now. You know what I mean? Like Chris Cabral is building his own kayak garage so that way he can help
Yeah,
other people
dude.
build up their kayaks.
I'm telling you, that's why I'm
Yeah.
saying, like, the Kayak Ditch Day crew, like, there's something there if you guys want to make it happen. Like, we can.
Well, I've been thinking about like, first off, we're gonna have to talk about that because I want to dig your brain because I don't know what you're up to, but there's something going on in there.
Absolutely.
But I really wanted to start doing more personable podcasts where we're all sitting down with each other, and there's like a
Hmm.
camera, and it's 3 to 4 people. I think 3 is going to be one of the first ones. 3 people, because once you get 4, 5, and 6, it gets to be too much. I heard for podcasts.
Yeah, 4. I think 4 is probably
4
your cap.
max. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try to get 4 of the Kayak Ditch Day guys on the podcast and really dive deep into like, I don't know. I think there needs to be a moderator or interviewer. It's gonna be weird because I'm not gonna be interviewing my own podcast. I'm gonna have someone else interview us, and then it's just gonna be like the 3 of us talking about Kayak Ditch Day. I don't know. I think it would be cool.
I got the formula for you, man. Just we'll talk.
Okay.
we talk.
All right,
Yeah.
man. So I think that's it for tonight, man. I don't
Did
really
we
have
did we get through any
anything else.
comments? Did I miss any comments?
Let's get through all the comments to get to the questions.
Because
Okay.
we're almost over an hour. Gramps,
Yeah.
what's up, man? If you're still in here.
We have Daniel Hernandez in here. Saludos desde Mexico. I don't speak Spanish, but
Where's that at?
I'm pretty sure that he's listening from Mexico. We got Shane saying, "Yo," but let's answer all the questions. Do we have any questions? What lakes do you like to fish, and what's your home lake?
Home lake, the pond.
The pond.
The pond. No, when I first got here, I thought Pudding Stone was going to be my home lake. It was the closest body of water to where I lived at, so I made that my home lake. And then Paris.
Mhm.
I wanted Paris to be my home lake. And I'll say this about Paris. I think there's some really good fishing to be had there. It's just finding them and then going on the right days. Like you can't compete with all the pleasure boaters out there, man. So going during the week and finding them, I think is great. So, but favorite lake in California?
Yeah.
Oh man, well, it's not a lake, but the Delta.
The Delta.
Like, yeah, like
can't beat the Delta, man.
Yeah, I didn't go back this year. I want to go back again before I left, man. I didn't make it up there.
Do you think we have time for a Delta trip?
I'll make time. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try my best to go up there again. Late February. So after we come back from our Lopez trip, I'm probably gonna wait a week and a half and make it back up there before March. Or I might go March, very beginning of March, because I got to come pack my stuff up, right? So I won't have my kayak. Probably they'll probably come pack us up around March 9th, 10th, something like that.
Oh, I see.
8th. So yeah, Delta is gonna be my favorite. James, I'm going to South Carolina, man.
South Carolina, near Queen City, right?
Well, that's technically North Carolina, right? Raleigh,
North
area.
Carolina. Okay.
So South. Yeah, so Columbia, Sumter.
Max Lee is wondering if you can drop a waypoint.
Where at? I'll do it. Where you want it at?
No, that's what I was talking about. I was talking about like, is your pond public? But there's no point in dropping a waypoint there because it's a military base.
Nah, yeah, you can't. Yeah, like I mean, if you can roll up to the gate, see that you want. They might let you. The worst they can do is say no. I'm telling you, dude, like it's not worth the drive. But yo, the middle of the desert. Look at Rosamond, California. Rosamond, and then go 25 miles to the east.
Ain't happening. Actually, you just stick with your juice, man.
Oh man,
That's fine.
Todd. I forgot about that. I gotta read Kachuma. Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Todd Kachuma. I love Kachuma. I gotta add that in there.
Yeah, Todd asked, did you have fun at Lake Kachuma while you're here in
Yeah,
California?
I did, and I was supposed to go back. I fished there for the tournament. Right, we had the ABA last year tournament champions. Were you went there? Were you? Don?
Me?
Yeah, you went
Kachuma?
there. Yeah, you
No,
didn't fish
man.
last year ABA.
I didn't start fishing like seriously until this year. Like not like started fishing, but started kayak
Right.
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah. But Kachuma, yeah, I like Kachuma. I had a lot of fun there. I was supposed to go back and never made it back there. The jig bite at Kachuma for me was something fabulous. Jig bite and net rig, those were my two that I caught most all the fish I caught out there on. And that was like the first place I caught a smallmouth. My first smallmouth was at Kachuma.
Nice.
So yeah, man.
Let's see. Don asked if you can buy black bass at Ranch 99. And then Gio says, "Yup, you can. Usually largemouth bass."
Really?
Yep. In Northern California, yeah, I'd see it all the time. I got pissed off in the beginning when I saw it, but I'm like, I mean, there's mass production of cows, pigs, anything out there. We're humans. We're pretty much mass producing everything, you know.
Yeah, I got 5 kids, man. Mass production. Oh man.
Any more questions? What does Cheetah have to say? What's your favorite fishing technique that you had developed from fishing in SoCal? Or the question is, what's your least favorite fishing technique that you didn't develop in fishing in SoCal?
That's it right there, brother. That's the question. Turn that around a little bit. Yeah, that drop shot thing. Yeah, nah. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna take it back, and I'll be honest. Favorite technique that I developed out here is underspin.
Underspin. Okay.
Yeah, I never fished that in Florida.
Have you ever caught a fish on drop shot?
Yeah. I've caught a few.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah, I've caught some. Yeah.
I thought you just
Nah.
said, no, I'm not gonna.
I just hate throwing it, man, because that means it's over. That means it's time that you might as well pack up, man. Like,
you're so funny.
It's a struggle right now. So
there's a lot of money that won with drop shot, but let's not even go into that. I don't even want to get started with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don said, "Hit me up, Zach. If you go, Don says, hit me up. Don Rossi's a kayaker in Northern California near the Delta. He had like a 103-inch bag when I was up there one day, and then so he's asking you to hit him up when you go to the Delta because he lives there near there.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yeah, we'll set something up when we get to Lopez, man, for sure. Like I didn't want to go out there before I leave.
Yeah, we're meeting up over at Lopez.
Yeah, kayak this day crew.
Hey, dude, it's crazy because I just met Don like last March, and now we're super good buddies. We're really good friends, and now he's coming to see us down in SoCal. That's crazy.
Well, Central, technically.
Central. Yeah. Zach's like, don't give him too much credit. Don doesn't deserve that much credit. Let me see. Dom, do you still have any Never Stop Casting shirt? Do I still have it? You know, that was my favorite shirt. I don't know where it went. And now, since I don't know where that Never Stop Casting shirt is, now I wear the Maddie Wong t-shirt. So you're going to have to send me another one, Todd. Sorry, but that was my favorite shirt. And actually, I got a lot of good juju off of that shirt. Big Game Fishing says, does Zach miss Florida?
Come on, man. What kind of question is that? Absolutely, I miss Florida, man. So that's my. So I plan to go back, right? So after I finish my time, or after my wife retires in South Carolina,
Yeah.
then we'll try to make our way back to Florida for sure. That's the plan right now. So,
Yeah.
but I'll be back down there. I'm gonna make a trip down there once I get settled in South Carolina for sure.
Yeah.
I got some friends to pay a visit to.
Don, you guys had to go halfway to meet us.
Oh shit. Yeah, man.
It's a fun lake, man. You had a lot of fun there, right? At Lopez. It's
Ah, yeah. I had a blast, bro. Like, and then the
yeah,
water level's up now, so I mean, don't know what that's gonna do to the
dude.
fish, but like I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
kind of exciting because everything that we saw out of water, it's gonna be inside water. So
right,
it could change
right,
things up, definitely.
absolutely. Like, and I'm also looking forward to exploring more of it, right? Like, because I only went so far. I only went to that one spot, and I didn't go anywhere past that. So I have
Yeah.
no idea what's beyond that. You guys, made that trek, so you know. But yeah.
Last question before we conclude this episode. Which fish is more tough, Max Lee said. Cali or Florida? Man, I feel like that's a loaded question.
All right, so if you
Some
chop
way.
everything in half, you chop everything from South Carolina, I meant South Carolina, from Lancaster on down, or just say Santa Clarita and down. That fish is tougher than anything I've ever seen in Florida, right? You go up
Wow.
north,
Yep.
let's start at Central. So let's just say Lopez, Santa Margarita, and up. It's about the
Mm.
same. I think it's about the same.
Oh, is
Um,
it? So you're saying the
yeah,
fishing is as good as Florida from Lopez and up?
Yeah, I think Lopez and Maria, even though we didn't have a great day when we went out there, I think those places, Kachuma, those are not tough places to fish, in my opinion. And
No,
and then the
no.
and then the, if you include the Delta fish is just like Florida, except for it's tidal water, right? That's the
Yeah.
only difference with the Delta and Florida. Matter of fact, the Delta looks exactly like what you would find in Florida, right? Minus
Exactly. Like
exact
Okeechobee and the Delta is similar.
all that stuff is super similar. Only difference is there's tidal water, right? As far as like the vegetation, it's all the same. You'll find all that stuff, brother.
I heard the vegetation is crazier in Florida. Like
Yeah, well,
after yeah.
depending on what body of water, some of it get
Oh, okay.
choked, like because that hydraulics sometimes can choke stuff out, right? Like, and it's just
Yeah.
it sometimes it's not navigable, but like, yeah, man, that fish is the same. That's why when I the first time I went to the Delta, I was like overwhelmed because I was like,
Yeah.
everything looks good. Like I want to throw a, a I want to flip and punch and all this stuff. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So that it, and then Clear Lake too. I think
Yeah.
Clear Lake is not, it fishes just like, not just like Florida, but it's not
Yeah.
a tough fishery. I'm telling you, man. Like,
Yeah.
so all my SoCal guys, man, that fish out down here, man.
Mhm.
I have no doubt that you guys can go anywhere in the country and kill it. Like,
Yeah.
like you just will. Like it just fishing out here makes you that way. You know what I mean? It makes you a better competitor in other bodies of water. Right. That's why I
Yeah.
say, like we talked before, like I think Damien can go to the East Coast and smack everybody out there.
Man, why did you have to bring that up, man? Now we're gonna have to argue. We're gonna have to
I,
create some
I,
drama with Damien Tao.
bro, I'm telling you,
Man.
I believe that dude, like,
Yeah.
yeah, he can. I
No.
think he can do it. I think he can absolutely do it, man. He makes it seems like he makes the right decision all the time, right? Like, and he understands, fish behavior. He
Yeah,
understands
you
the,
know that. Yeah,
his mapping, like all that stuff.
yeah.
Give him time. Send him anywhere. Give him 2 days to fish it. Yeah,
He
that dude.
is the king of California on a kayak. He is the king. You put him on
I'll
a bass
concur.
boat, he may be the king on bass boats too, in
I'm not gonna
California.
argue with you on that. I'll concur.
Yeah.
I do, like I
But
like. Go
we're
ahead.
we're gonna see the conclusion after he goes to Bassmaster Kayak Classic, is it? Or Kayak Championship? Because he's
Yeah. What?
going.
Ah.
He's going to, what is it, Gunnersville or Chick? One of the two. I forgot which one it was.
Right. I don't know. I don't know where it's at.
But I mean, I'm supportive of him for sure, 100%. I don't know if I should put this out there.
Listen, man. I listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna talk the ish for you. I'm putting my money behind that dude wherever he fishes.
So top
And
what? Top. Let's
of
say
what?
I don't know. I don't know how many people are fishing the Bassmaster Classic, the Kayak Classic, or Championship.
I don't know either. Yeah, I don't know.
But let's just say 5 from different state. 5 per state, I think. So I think it's over 200 people then. Where does he land? Give him give him like top 50, top 100, top 10,
Easily.
top 5. Where does he land?
Top 50, top 20, easily.
Top 20, easily.
Top 10, depending on how much time he has to pre-fish.
Yeah. So top 20, easily.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Damn, this is gonna get real good.
I'm telling you, that dude is phenomenal, man. Like, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's very true. But you're putting him on a bigger water, with some of the locals out there. So he does have
Gunners. Yeah, but you've seen how Gunner feels fishes, right? Like,
yeah,
give Damien a frog in his hand,
yeah,
and send him on his way. Yeah. Like, on Gunnersville.
All right, I give him, if it's out of 200 people, I give him top 75.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm saying it could fluctuate. Like, if things land his way, he could be a top 5.
I'm gonna need you to walk out on it. I'm gonna need you to walk out on his limb and hang and dangle off the limb. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to do more than 75. Like,
I'm gonna say definitely a top 50 for sure. Damien Tao's a top 50 out of 200. That he's never been. He's never been to the lake. It's a big body of water. That's some of the elements that he hasn't faced, except for the Delta. Delta's hella big, and he's not a local there, but he's won over at the Delta. I'm gonna say, okay, guys, I'm not gonna be a hater, right? Top freaking 30. That's my final decision.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Top 30.
Fair enough. I'll give you fair enough. You walked out on a little limb. You know what I mean?
He is the king. He is 30. The king. I already said enough. He is the king. He won 3 top TOCs, so
it's hard to argue.
That puts and on bodies of waters that he's never been to. Like, he's won.
That part.
Straight up showing up.
That's what I said. Like, and that's why I said, if you give him time to pre-fish too, it's a tough guy to beat, man.
Dude, he only pre-fished like 3 days over at Lopez, and he took a 3-day tournament. That's crazy. At our ABA TOC. But no, you're 100% right. Okay, you're 100% right that that Damien makes key decisions. Like, he has that intuition of like, okay, this is not working. I'm gonna tie on this, and this is gonna work. You see it in his videos.
Dude, like, that is a
skill in itself.
I don't even want to call it a skill. It's like a superpower for him, bro. Like,
a superpower.
To do that. Like, I mean, we all go through it, right? We all go through where we're trying stuff out, whatever. Like, multiple things until we find something that you know what I mean, that's somewhat of a pattern. That's not like, for him. It seems like whatever he ties on next, that's the one. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, you know what? I feel like I'm playing Skip Bayless right now, and you're playing Shannon Sharp. And we're talking about LeBron James right now.
yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
Actually,
he is a LeBron James.
yeah,
He is.
that dude is good. Like, and it'd be interesting if you could ever get him on. Like, because I like to know
Yeah.
what went into that decision making process. Like,
Damian.
is that history? Is experience? Is it just knowing the pattern that the Bass are in at that point in time? Like, what is that?
Well, guys, you can help me out right now if you put out a comment anywhere saying that you want Damian on the podcast. If you comment that on our YouTube live video, I will try my hardest to put Damian on the podcast. But I'm not guaranteeing you he's going to jump on the podcast. But I will try my hardest to bring him on, you know?
You get him. Yeah,
Bringing
see,
him on
Don.
is like trying to bring on LeBron James. But who is the Kevin Durant then? If Damian Tao is the LeBron James, who's Kevin Durant in our field?
I tell you, so I don't know who that person is. It is probably somebody who is not a social media guy.
So you follow basketball, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying he's not a social media guy, that Kevin Durant guy.
Yeah, whoever that is. Whoever that
Yeah.
person in the kayak community is on the West Coast, I don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
I'll say it like that.
Who's the? Oh wait a minute. The argument. Who is Greg Blanchard?
Yeah, I need to go say that
because he's in here. Okay, is he? Right? No. Greg Blanchard's not in the. But I'm saying. I'd be more.
I ain't changing my answer. I'm not changing my answer.
But like, who is of the NBA player? Who does he relate to more? I think Devin Booker or what?
Nah. I'm going to current right now, active in the league, right?
Yeah, active in the league. Who's Greg Blanchard?
I'm gonna go with Steph.
He's Steph Curry?
I'm gonna go with Steph, and here's why. Like it always seems like Greg don't miss, right? Like every once in a while, Greg has a bad game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But his bounce back is strong, right? He comes back.
Damn.
Yeah. So like I think, I would say Steph Curry for Greg Blanchard, man. Like.
That's crazy. But you know what you need to do? You need to answer these quicker so I can make YouTube shorts with this.
Yeah, you can just edit. You can't edit, dog. Come on, man. You can edit that part
I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna trim it.
Yeah. Trim that joint down, man.
James Roberts says, get Damian on here. All right. But Max Time Outdoors, John Myers. Where does John Myers fit in all of this?
You know what? So I don't know who John Myers is, but I want to back up because I gotta shout out some of our SoCal dudes. Like we got some guys down there. So Alex Cox is I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
He's still fishing, but
he just won the spotted bait bass.
Okay,
recently.
There you go.
But yeah, where do you put him? NBA player. Dude, we have a list of people are just listing out names right now.
And I can't see. Alex Cox is like it's a lot of NBA players, man.
Well, Alex Cox, he won the West Coast Championship, right?
Mm-hmm. Who we got on here?
Can you see who we have on here?
I'm trying to see who they say. Yeah. No one say anything for Alex Cox. I don't know.
Let's not talk about Alex Cox then.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't listed. Let's talk about John Myers and then we'll move on from there.
All right.
John Myers.
Who
is he?
It's gonna sound crazy.
You don't know enough about him.
I don't know enough about him. So yeah, I can't. I don't even.
Well, that's another topic that we're gonna get into a different podcast because Chris and I argued plenty about how you have to be in the game of social media like active as more YouTube to be relevant in the West Coast. I argue that, but that's a
Ooh.
different discussion here. We don't want to go into that topic
Yeah.
because that's a tough one. But
Is Chris on here? Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
sneak peek. That's a sneak peek. Is that I'm gonna have Chris Cabral on here on my podcast, and we're just gonna go back and forth about how to stay relevant in the game of fishing. But I'm saying if you don't have a YouTube now, your name's not going to be up in this NBA caliber roster.
Oh yeah. Well, John, CO said John D. Monet, like, and that dude kills it too, right? Like, shit, Matt,
What?
Brandon.
What? How about who's the top 5 kayak anglers? Well, let's just start with. Okay, so John Myers, you don't know enough about him to put him on the roster. To put him.
Yeah, I can't speak because I don't know anything. I don't know who that is. I don't.
So
Sorry.
DK, what do you think about DK? Where do you put him on? Do you know DK Daigo?
Dude, I'm telling y'all, like, it's gonna sound crazy. I don't know a lot of people. Okay. I know my main guys, right?
John like DeMonet.
I know John. I fished with John, right?
Who do you put John DeMonet at?
Like where I put him at? NBA
what
player?
NBA player? Yeah.
Oh man, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, I can't think of an NBA player that fits what he does. Because he's also consistent. He's very consistent in what he does. I don't think I've ever seen him have a bad day. I take that back. He did it. I mean, yes, I've seen him have a bad day, but that dude is consistently in contention, right? So, who do you think? I don't know.
Okay, John DeMonet, he's just a straight out stick.
Yeah.
And he won a championship last year, the TOC, and he won this year. He won Working Man Series. So I feel like he wins MVP at a certain time. I put him as. Oh, I know. Oh, what's his name? He's a Maverick.
Luka?
He's a Luka, I think. No? Luka? Because
Luka
hasn't won.
Luka ain't won nothing.
But he's come close to MVP, right? Or do you think John is like a Giannis?
Here's the deal. John's won some stuff, right? Like he has a championship under his belt last year, ABA, right? He won that, didn't he?
Yeah, so he won the kayak, yep.
Like whoever you compare him to has to have a chip somewhere.
Has to have a chip. Yeah, that's why I said Giannis.
I'm going to
because he has a chip. Who else has a chip? Like in the last. So is he part of the Lakers?
Nah, yeah, it's yeah.
Is he Anthony Davis? No?
Nope. Nope.
I think he's better than Anthony Davis. All right, we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Can't figure it out.
Going...
CA says, CO says Dwayne Wade. He's like Dwayne Wade. That could be a good one. How many championships Dwayne Wade won? Like 1 or 2? Right? 3 with the Heat.
2, yeah, 3, yeah, 3 with all the Heat. I think he's got 3.
Okay,
he got 1
so he's like a Dwayne Wade then. That's fair. All right. Let's move on. Who else is there? Grit. Okay, let's go back to John Myers because I'm going to put my input on John Myers. Okay,
since you don't have anything. Yeah, tell me about him.
John Myers is Mr. Consistent. Like he won't just like pop out of nowhere and just be and just basically kill the field of anglers. He's not gonna kill it, but he's always consistent. He's either like second place, third place, or fifth place all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he taken so many second places, I believe, last year. So I'm gonna say he's Jason Tatum. That's who John Myers is right now. Jason Tatum.
Chris
You know what I
Paul.
mean?
Chris
Chris
Paul.
Paul. Oh yeah,
There
Chris
you
Paul.
go. Like that's the way you describe him.
Yeah.
That's Chris Paul.
Has Chris Paul won an MVP?
I don't know.
No.
Chris Paul didn't retire, but yeah,
I'm gonna say okay. He's Chris Paul. John Myers is Chris Paul. Or Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi got multiple chips though.
Yeah. I think John Myers has multiple chips too. It's just last year he's gotten a lot of second place finishes.
Where's he fish out of? I literally don't know who that is. Is that north, south? He's not one of SoCal.
North.
Oh, okay. So that yeah, that's why I don't have no clue who that is.
Okay. We don't have any more. I don't think we have any more. We have one more. Let's just finish it out with this. Finish it. Finish it strong. Okay. Finish this question, and we're gonna call it a night because it's been a long podcast. You are a record length podcast. Okay. How about who is the top 5 West Coast kayak anglers? Damn, dude. Damn. Top 5.
In no particular order.
No particular order.
No particular order.
Yeah.
Boom. I'm gonna go Damien. I'm gonna go Greg.
Damn, Greg Blanchard. Okay. Greg
I'm
Blanchard.
Gonna go.
Yep.
And this is from what me like.
Yeah.
This is
this is not me. Yep.
John
DeMonet.
Yep. Matt Brannon.
Okay, Matt Brannon. Don't give him any more cockiness or anything more confidence, man. That guy is a hammer though.
I'm gonna say you, man. Like, and that's not like,
oh man,
this past year you had a hell of a year. All right, like you had a lot of top 5, top 10 finishes, bro. Like, so I'm throwing you in there for sure.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah,
that's
no doubt,
crazy.
man. Like, and that's real. Like, that, and that's just people that I've seen, right?
Yeah,
that I fish. But yeah, you had a hell of a year, bro.
Damn. Yeah.
Except for that one time when your motor and stuff died and you couldn't get back and you was on the bed like.
Oh, so the guys were making fun of me or something, or like you guys felt bad for me or what?
It was a sad day, man. It was a morning, man. I was like, oh my gosh, my guy's here on the bed. He's about to hang it up and go home. Yeah, you remember that, right?
No, that night? I do remember. I was sad. Yeah,
he was really sad. And I was like, come on, man. Like,
you know what? Yeah, I was sad. Okay, I was sad that I didn't have a great day one, but also more of it, I was like half of the sadness I got was you guys were all bouncing out, and I was fishing Sunday.
Yeah.
So you guys were all leaving me, and I was already sad because day one I freaking sucked on day one of the West Coast Championship, and then you guys on top of that, all my homies, Kayak Ditch Day, you guys all left back to SoCal, and I'm here like by myself in this big ass Airbnb, all sulking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, dude, that was. I was like, oh my gosh.
You know what my dream is though? My dream, Zach, is it would be really cool is to have a live show of the top anglers in the West Coast and everybody have a cameraman. So it'll either be like free for all 5 kayak anglers on a body of water. They're going all against each other, and it's MLF status.
Yeah,
5 fish limit, but but everybody can watch it live.
Yeah, so
Like MLS.
that's kind of what who was that group? Is it Kayak Nation? Yeah, Kayak Bass Nation.
Uh-huh.
They do something similar to that. KFL does something similar to that too.
They have a live cameraman following the kayaker.
Well, so no, they don't have that
Yeah.
part. They ain't got that much bread.
Yeah.
It's up to the individual angler has their feed on their camera, whatever, and they're live. So that's another thing too. KFL. I mean, we did 2 hours here, but yeah, I'm surprised California doesn't have a KFL. They're not part of that league. They can get teams together to compete against each other. But yeah, that'd be dope. You know what I mean? If you could do that, but you got to think about having someone that's dedicated to follow the boater or angler around. It's a lot of money. You know what I mean? You got to pay them.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm on the video producer side, so you know, I have connections. I know how things work. I can hire the cameraman. I could figure out, you know, what connection is the strongest at that lake and etc.
Right.
I just need, maybe on the other side of things, I would need someone to be able to do the live broadcast for me. But it would be like a TV show.
No, I get it.
1v1. You know, it's kind of like that Pro versus Joe TV show or something like that, but MLF status.
Absolutely. No, I'm tracking. Yeah, that'd be dope. I mean, yeah, our biggest obstacle really is, you know, resources, right? Like, like getting people to do it, and you know, and then also picking out the right locations, because like you said, service is not the same everywhere here. You know what I mean? So, do that.
That'd be crazy.
Do it.
Yeah.
Nobody else is doing it. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna have to close this podcast episode. Thank you so much, Zach, for coming on. It's been my pleasure being your friend and having you at Kayak Ditch Day. You're the man, and best wishes over at North Carolina. Dude, South Carolina. I'm looking forward to your content. And like I said, guys, go follow his YouTube if you don't already. Probably half of the people here, more than half, already follow him. Probably 100% of you guys follow Yak-n-Zak. But is there anybody that you want to shout out, Zach, before you go?
Nah.
I like that.
Hey, no, honestly,
I like that.
I do want to shout out my guy Chris. I know Chris is in here, man. Chris
Cabral.
Chris Cabral for sure. Okay. Spent some time with him, shared some campsites with him, a lot. So, and he's told me, like, I've learned a lot from him too. Like, you know, Chris showed me a lot. So much respect, brother. Appreciate you. And then just, I mean, all the people who follow my channel, man, like, it's been a lot, you know, to see, or it's been huge, and I'm very appreciative of the growth my channel has done since I've been out here. So much respect to that, and thank you guys so much for doing that and following me and always giving me tips. Anybody who's ever left a tip on my channel of, hey, you should do this, or hey, try this, hey, I salute y'all and I appreciate y'all, man. So definitely to my subscribers and my friends and to my folks back in Florida, I miss y'all. I will definitely get back down there and we will share some water together for sure. So, yeah.
Dude, I feel so honored to be like the podcast that sends you off to Carolina. You know what I mean? I feel like this is an official buy from my podcast. I feel so honored, man.
No, it's dope, man. We had plans to do this before, right? And didn't work out, so had to get it in today. So, I definitely appreciate you too, bro. Like I've learned a lot from you. Like, you know what I mean?
Forget about learning from me, man. Yeah. It's just it's fun just chilling, fireplace or campfire.
Well, here's the deal. Like with you and pretty much everybody in Kayak Ditch Day, like there's no secrets.
Yeah.
Right? Like no one's keeping secrets.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I know fishing in general has a lot to do with secrets, right? Like I
Yeah.
don't want to share this, I don't want to share that because that's mine. Or
Yep.
you know what I mean? Like I don't subscribe to that. Like I don't know a whole lot about fishing, but what I do know, I'm gonna let you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just me, like period. Like so I don't care if it's a fishery. Like if
Yeah.
I'm there, I'm not hiding the title and I'm not putting it in my description title. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm telling you where I'm fishing it. Like it's public.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
like so. But that's I appreciate with all the guys in the group, man. We'll share everything. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so that don't happen a lot. You don't find friends like that a lot. So respect that and cherish that, man.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Let's just end it there, man.
Yeah.
This is a strong episode.
Did we get 2 hours,
Strong.
man? Yeah,
2 hours, man. So is someone gonna listen to 2 hours straight? I don't care.
Hey,
They're gonna find value somewhere in this.
listen, making that road trip to Clear Lake or coming down south somewhere, just pop this on, man. Like that gets you through 2 hours at
Oh
least.
yeah. If you guys are traveling out of state, we'll just pop this on and it'll get you 2 hours through maybe Vegas
Yeah.
or something. All right. All right, Zach. I'll catch you later, man. I'm
All
gonna
right,
end this
brother.
broadcast.
You
And
do that.
then I think we're gonna end it off there. See you later, Zach. Have a good night.
All right.
Thanks again.
All right, man. Later.
Peace.